Hi, Rhonda. Oh, I can't hear.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Now I got to get the picture. Hold on. I'm thinking, okay, join audio. I don't know why I'm not seeing.
You don't have your video on. I just see your name.
I know I can't even see your picture.
So you would, yeah, if you could see, you would see the 100 logo. That's what's up.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Oh, here. Try this. Nope. I'm going to log out and log back in.
Okay.
And then oh, hold on. There I go. That's right. So can we test, because for someone else while I'm talking, the way this is, if it's going to be really hard to, if someone else is moving the screen and,
Do you want to move the screen?
I think it's going to be, that's the way this program is. I've been practicing. It's going to be a lot easier if if you share the screen with me, and I'll just control that once we get started.
Okay,
But
I just made you a co-host so you can share your screen.
Let me practice this now to make sure.
Okay.
Let me pull up. Let me pull up and get at the program.
Good morning. It is. Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see if this works.
It's under programs. You go to the website, you go under programs, and you go to youth empowerment. We go to programs and you'll see Youth Economic Empowerment Club.
Yep. So
if you send that over to me, the class starts in 15 minutes. So if you send it over to me, I can get him in. What is your email address? Uh-huh. Got it. Okay, you came up. Okay, I'm getting ready to send over the Zoom link. I'm getting ready to send over the refresher of the Zoom link. So are you on the 100 website? Go to the top where it says programs. Then, yep, you got it. It's under sign. Okay, go over to signups. There's another one that says program signups. Got it. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
So I'm sharing my screen. Can you see that? Rhonda, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Can you open up your chat? I have a link in there. I want you to see if it's to click and see if it works.
Okay, let me click here right now. Okay, on my school account is blocked by GoGuardian, but I can try to go through my regular account.
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can do the survey.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a question.
Sure.
By name of 100 Black Men chapter, what does that mean exactly?
So the name of it is 100 Black Men of Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So are you going to allow me to share my screen or are you going to do the clicking?
Actually, Nancy's gonna do her own clicking.
I like it. Hi,
Yeah,
Nancy.
she thought it would be easier that way. So you're good. So we're good.
Morning.
Good morning.
So do you want to test that first? I'm going to share my screen put up and see if you can see it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let me just get it in here.
Mr. Carter, you can smile. You're a handsome young man.
Thank
You
you.
see that,
Yep.
Rhonda?
I see
Okay,
it.
okay, so I'll be fine then to
Yes.
go when I'm ready to go.
All right. Very good.
So yeah, there's so much moving around. I thought it would be really hard for you to it kind of be disruptive if I kept asking to go to the next screen.
Got it. Okay. So unshare your screen right now because I need to see all the people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back there.
Like I said, Nancy, that would have been like the old days where somebody spoke and the AV person would do the clicking.
I know. If I can get back here, it'd be great.
So at the top, it says stop share. It's a red button.
I know, I'm trying to even get back on. Oh, hold on.
Hello to all the students who've just joined. If you could cut on your camera, that would be great to all the students who just joined. And I have a link in the chat that I need you to fill out for all the students that just joined. There's a link in the chat I need you to fill out, please, and thank you.
And if you have any background noise, be great to silence it.
I'm done. I'm trying to get out of here. Oh, I can't.
Nancy, I think you're fine if you just go to the gallery to the far right and just make that large.
My problem is it's not on my computer. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
All right.
I should have stopped sharing.
It has not. You have to hit it's a stop share button at the top. It's a green button that says you're sharing, and then next to it, it says in red, it says stop sharing. You have to hit the red button.
I just did.
Okay.
It's not
So
doing.
all right, let me undo. I'll undo you and bring you back.
So
Okay.
okay. So just when it's my turn to go, then you can
Okay.
start sharing.
Hello, everyone. While you're waiting for us to start, there is a link in the chat. I need everybody to click the link in the chat and to fill out the survey. And then once you filled it out, please send me a note in the chat to let me know that you have completed it. Thank you.
You may have to say that a couple of times, Rhonda, as we know people are fashionably late.
Okay, Darren, the link is in the chat. So if you scroll up, you'll see a link. If you scroll up your chat, you'll see a link, a message I sent to everyone. Do you see it? It doesn't let you scroll. Okay, I'll put it in the chat again. Hold on one second.
Mr. Williams, your camera is very blurry. There you go. There you go.
Okay, everyone, I just put the link back in the chat. So you should see a fresh link in the chat. And if you click on that chat, please go to that survey and answer those questions. Thank you. If you're having a problem, let me know. Oh, and please send me a note in the chat after you finish letting me know you completed it. Thank you. It is now 10 o'clock, but we're going to give everyone just a couple of more minutes to sign on before we start. For those of you all who have just joined us, If you look over in the chat box, there's a survey that I'd like for you guys to fill out. So while we're waiting for the other students to join, if you could fill out the survey, please let me know, and then send me a note in the chat letting me know that you completed the survey. Thank you. And the answer to the first question is, it asks you the name of the chapter of the 100 Black Men you're coming from, and you're working with the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. That is the answer to the first question. The name of the chapter is the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. And then everything else I think you guys can handle.
I wish you were my teacher in school. Giving out the answers. I love it.
Well, it's 10:03 and we're going to start right now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rhonda Nolan. I'm the executive assistant to the president of the 100 Black Men Las Vegas. And welcome to the Youth Economic Empowerment Club first class. Yay. We're so happy to have you here today. Little housekeeping while everybody's just joining. As you know, in this program is designed to help you learn about money and banking. And what we'd like to encourage you to do is, if you don't already have a savings account, we would like to encourage you to open up a savings account. And then at the end of the 6-week course, we're going to match up to $200, whatever you put in that savings account. So say you open it up with $25, then we're going to give you another $25. If you open it up with $50, we'll give you another $50. At the end of the course, we'll ask you to show us your bank statement, and then we will write you a check to match those dollars, because we really want to get you off to a great start in savings. If you are having any problems opening up a savings account, please send us an email to let us know, and we will discuss that further. Today, I'd like to introduce to you the chairman of the finance department. His name is Mr. Daryl Rayford. Mr. Daryl Rayford is the treasurer for the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas, and he is also the CFO. He has been teaching accounting and all things with numbers for many, many years. So I'd like to welcome him to the microphone, Mr. Daryl Rayford.
You kids can clap. I mean, this is interactive. There you go. There you go. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you guys and ladies were able to join us on our inaugural day of talking about finance. One of the things before we get started, I want to remove any anxiety that you may have. All your speakers today, remember where we came from. We were once your age. So keep that in mind, and let these sessions be interactive, and ask questions in the chat or a dialogue. As Miss Rhonda Nolan said, I've got about 38 years in finance. I worked at CBS Television in New York. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised. Went to school in New York. Came out here to Las Vegas, retired out of Cirque du Soleil on the Strip. I currently teach at the College of Southern Nevada, and I've been doing that for 23 years. I teach accounting and I teach finance. And one of the things that I hold dear to is educating people, and especially young people, on the ways of money. So utilize this session for your betterment, ask questions, and I look forward to seeing you every week, and I look forward to answering any of your questions. And again, if I don't have the answer, I don't sit up here to say I know it all, but we will find out for you. We will look things up for you and figure it out. We'll figure it out, and we'll figure out things together. Having said that, we have a special guest today, a woman from Wells Fargo. She has worked in Wells Fargo for 25 years. She's been in banking for 30 years. She and I have worked together over the past 3 years. Her name is Nancy Hamilton. She's involved with financial education in Nevada and various Nevada communities. And she works with very closely with stakeholders to support affordable housing and home preservation efforts. So if you can help me welcome Miss Nancy Hamilton with the applause, I would greatly appreciate that. Nancy, the floor is yours.
Well, go ahead, Rhonda.
Everybody, please turn your cameras on. We need to see you. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. Like Daryl, I'm a New Yorker, just not New York City. I come from the very top of New York, next to Canada. I have been doing this for a very long time, but before that, lived in Washington, D.C., Boston, and was a Peace Corps volunteer as a teacher for several years. So very excited to be able to do this. We are going to have a number of people from Wells Fargo help out with these classes. I'm just starting it out. We're going to be using a program called Hands-On Banking. And that's Wells Fargo's financial education curriculum, and it's an online program. We're going to take you through that program, start taking you through that program today. Over the next 6 weeks, we're going to do a lot of work. We're going to introduce you to a lot of new terms. We're going to have you put your thinking caps on. And I want these this time with you to be very interactive. I want you to ask the questions that you want to ask. Feel confident to ask the questions. There's no bad question. But there's going to be just a ton of information. You might have a little assignments to do from time to time. That's just to kind of help you with the work that we do on Saturdays. So I welcome your feedback. I welcome your comments. If what we're doing and how we're doing it is not, if you want to see something different, let me know. Let us know. And then as the speakers come in, we can let them know. So we're going to go into the program right now. And I'm going to cross your fingers. I can make this work, but I'm going to share the screen. And can everybody see that? So again, the program is called Getting Started. We're actually going to do all about 6 lessons for our time. And each week it's going to be a new and different one. So today, this is going to be more of an introduction to money course. If you have questions, you can raise your hand. You can, do it through the chat. Rhonda, I would ask that I can't see all the chat questions coming up. So if you see a chat question, just or a raised hand that I don't see, if you wouldn't mind just letting us know what that is.
Okay, I sure will.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we're going to start off with a little see.
What's in your future? Does it include a car, a college education, maybe a new place to live? Will your job pay you enough? Will you save enough? Will you be able to borrow money and pay it back on time? How will money be a part of your future? Learning to manage money wisely will help you reach your financial goals. Take charge of your future now.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. What things can money help you achieve? What things can money help you achieve? Can't hear anyone. Are they on mute?
Everyone, if you can answer the question, turn on your mic and answer.
This is interactive, people. Appreciate your participation.
Success.
Success?
Success.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Why don't you keep your videos on, not your video, your video and your mics on, because we're going to be doing lots of talking back and forth, if you don't mind. What else? What are some things money can help you achieve?
Supply supplies for you and for your family, so you can have a stable life.
Absolutely. Yeah. So things you need and want in your life. Absolutely. Anyone else?
Tyler says property. Very good.
Property. Absolutely. So money can help you achieve many different things in your life. And what our goal is to have us in control of our money as opposed to money controlling us. So this whole course and this whole curriculum is going to give you tips and resources and guidance on how you can, how you will be able to know how to use money the best way that it works for you. And to know the best way that money will work for you is to understand how you feel about money. There's we all when somebody says the word money, there's certain things that come up in us. It could be anxiety, it could be happiness, it could be scared, it could be, oh no, it could be, yes, I'm going to get this, when I'm 25, I'm going to have my own home. So there are many different things. So it's for us to understand how we feel about money. It's for us to also think about how we manage our money already. And even though you are in middle school and high school, you still have, do you spend everything that you get? Are you a spender? Are you a saver? Are you cautious? Are there things you would like to do better in terms of handling with your money? Are there things that as you watch in your family and how your family handles money, what are the good things they do? What are the things that you would like to see changed? And I think these are all things that we have to think about when we talking about and learning about good money management. And again, the goal is so that you are in control of your money and that it's not in control of you. So during this, the next 6 weeks, we're going to learn lots of new terms, lots of different terms. So we're going to start off today to see if you can, some of those terms that we're going to learn about. So there on the left side, there's a term, and on the right side is the definition. So can anyone help me? Direct deposit. What do you think that means? Does that mean your employer pays you electronically? So put your money right into a bank account? Does direct deposit mean to sign the back of a check? Or does direct deposit mean to go down in value? And that's a term that we're often going to hear as we in our financial world. So what do you think?
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
You're on mute, Mr. Carter. There you
I
go.
think it's when your employer pays you electronically.
Well, let's see. You are right.
Very good.
You are absolutely right. So endorse. Don't know if you've ever heard this word before, but does endorse mean to sign a check or to go down in value?
To sign the back of a check?
To
Very
sign
good.
the back of a check. And you are right. Yay. Woohoo. And so the last one, depreciate. And depreciate means to go down in value. So these are very common money terms. And as we go out you're going to learn this and this and many more. So let's see. We got them all right. So Money's great for buying things and having fun, but it also means independence. And that is your goal, is for to control your money so that you can do the things that you need and want to do with it. If you manage it right, it can help you live on your own and live the way that you want. And that's another goal of ours in taking you through these lessons today. So we're going to do something, and we're going to do a little exercise here. So Eric just graduated and wants to find the best way to get started toward a successful financial future. He's looking at 3 different ways of doing that. But what option is the best for Eric? Can you see that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what of those 3 options, take a look at them and tell me, what option do you think is the best?
I don't know about the students, but my print is very small.
Okay, so let me,
Okay, that's a lot better.
okay, I'm so sorry. There. So the first one is, don't waste time dreaming about things I can't have. Focus on getting a minimum wage job as quickly as possible. The second one is, ask my friends about their goals and plans. It's a great way to get ideas and stay motivated. And the third is, think about exactly what I want for myself and write it down on paper. Look back at it often and update it. What do you think?
Darren said the third one.
Darren said the third one. And that is absolutely correct. You want to think about it, write it down, and look back. So one of the first things we learn about in money management is to think about our goals and define our goals. So can someone tell me what a goal is? Can somebody tell me what a goal is?
Something that you want to do in life.
Pardon? You're right.
Something that you want to do in life.
Something that you want to do in life. That's correct. That is a goal. And so we all have goals. And many of our goals have a financial aspect, have a dollar amount to them. So it would be difficult to achieve our goals if we haven't thought about them. It would be difficult. It's also difficult to achieve our goals if we don't write them down and we don't have a plan for achieving them. So one of the first things we want to do is think about our goals and then write them down and then write a plan for achieving our goals. And without writing them, why would you want to write down your goals? What's the purpose of writing it down? Why can't I just keep it in my head? Anybody know?
So you could keep on manifesting it.
Yep, absolutely. It's there in front of you and you're seeing it all the time. So you want to write down your goal and it's there and you write down how you're going to achieve it. And then if it's there, it's going to hold you accountable. If it's physically in front of you, it's going to hold you more accountable to do that. So, and then you want to update and look at your goal and update it often. Because why do you think you need to update your goals? What happens in life all the time? What do you think? Are there changes in our lives all the time? Things may change. So that's why you want to look at your goals and think about them, write them down, and then that's going to also identify what's important to you.
Benjamin said in the chat that your goals might change.
Yeah, absolutely. Your goals might change. That's correct. And that happens all the time. So the other thing about goals, it identifies what's important to you. So, when I started doing these classes, I said, I was always telling everybody you have to save, 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 save. And finally, one day it dawned on me, you have to be saving in order to be saving. It's just not enough for someone to say you have to save. What's going to make you save is if you're saving for something that's important to you. So you have to, and your goal has to be important to you. So I'm going to ask you now, all of you, to take a minute and to think about a goal that you want to achieve, and either write, and if you have a pen and pencil right there, write that down. And let's do it with a goal that has a dollar amount, a financial aspect to it. So it could be going to college, it could be buying a car. All of those have money attached to it. So let's think about that for a second. And I'm going to ask you about that. I'm going to ask you to share. Is everybody thinking? Okay. I didn't set my timer, but I'm guessing it's pretty close to a minute. So, who wants to share?
I'll start off.
Okay.
Rhonda, how many participants do we have today?
So we have today 16 participants.
So my goal is for all 16 of you to have $5 million in the bank working for you by the time you're 40, 45 years old. Therefore, at 2%, that $5 million could generate $100,000 a year for you. That's my goal and my desire for you. In order to get there, I'm proud of you to finish school, go to college, and write down your other goals to get to the 5 million. That's my goal for all of you.
Very good. Now, who else wants to join? What's your goal?
Okay, we're gonna start calling names. Egypt, let us know what your goal is. Egypt? Are you there?
I said to buy a car.
To buy a car?
Okay. Good.
Great. Destiny, what's your goal?
By when?
Destiny, what is your goal? We can't hear you. Speak up.
My goal is to, I haven't really think on it yet, but I still need some more things.
You need more time to think about it?
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, that's going to be one of your takeaways when we end the class today. And for you to think about over the next week, to write down one of your goals, and then to write down some steps on how you're going to achieve it. So when we're going to give you an example right now. So if you take a look at this screen, you'll see some different kind of goals. And these goals are, you know, in order for a goal to be achieved, it's got to be important to you. It's got to be something that you really want to do. And there are ways of writing goals, and there's time frames for goals. So some of the time frames may be, you know, by the summertime, you know, or it may be within the next year, or maybe 2 years, or maybe by the time I'm 45. Like Daryl in his goal, he had a time frame in there. So goals are divided into short-term, intermediate term, and long-term goals. So when you write a goal, what you want to do is kind of define that when. When do you want to achieve that goal in there? So I don't know if you've studied this in school yet. If not, you probably will before you end school, before your high school years end. But in terms of writing a SMART goals. So SMART goals are the difference between I want to take a vacation, that's a goal. A SMART goal defines that goal a little bit more. And it would be, I will take a vacation. I will take a vacation by, I will take a vacation in December 2022. And in order to do that, I will have saved $3,000 to do that. So it kind of defines more of what you're actually going to do when you do your goal. But that's just giving you an example. But the most important thing is just writing down your goal and keeping it in front of you for a while. So any questions on goals? And we're going through this really quickly.
So Nancy, in the chat, a couple people said, Benjamin said his goal is to go to college. Tyler said his goal is to make at least $45,000 within 6 to 11 years. And Darren said he wants to make enough money to retire before he's supposed to.
Before 65. So I think that's the idea Daryl had in mind for you too. Is that right, Daryl?
Yep, that was my intention for everybody.
Yeah. Daryl, did you want to say anything else about the importance of having a goal and you know, on this topic?
Well, I think you had mentioned it, and they probably will get it, but you have to make sure that your goals are achievable and measurable. And one of the things that Destiny articulated was, I don't know what my goals are right now, but one of the things that I can add to you, Destiny, write everything on a piece of paper. Write a bunch of stuff on a piece of paper, because once you see it, they will resonate with you, and then you can set time frames to achieve your goals. I remember when I was 12, the fashion statement back when I was coming up was suede pro-kids. Now this is before your time, but suede pro-kids. And my father said to me, that's too expensive. They were $15. So in order for me to get the suede pro-kids, I had to do a paper route and take my money. And he said, I will pay for how much regular kids cost, and you got to pay the difference. And I calculated how long I would have to be on the paper route to get my pro kids, because I was a basketball nut and I wanted these suede pro kids. So in about 6 months, I saved up enough money to get my suede pro kids.
Fantastic. In the chat, we have some other goals. The Jackson siblings, one of them wants to purchase property and the other one wants to purchase animals. Jeremiah wants to finish high school, get a driver's license, and go to college. Giselle wants to buy his own home in Beverly Hills by 35. That's a great goal. Let's see. Caesar wants to go to college and graduate. And Sudan wants to go to college to study and learn more about animation and art. So those are some really great goals, people. Really good.
They are. And again, I'll ask you to take one of those. If you've written down more than one, just take one and write down some steps that you think you need to take in order to achieve it. And then if you want, if you're having difficulty doing that, Rhonda, can they contact you? Daryl,
Yes.
can they contact me? And Rhonda can give you my email address. You can just send me questions. If you need help with that, be happy to help you in writing that down. I think also some of your teachers and instructors at school would be really happy to know that you're kind of working on that too, if you're not already working on it at school. So let's talk about how money works. If I can, my computer is a touch screen. Hold on. And sometimes if I'm using it and just get it, hold on. Sorry. It's frozen. Might have to, sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to,
I think it's loading.
okay.
Murphy's Law, Nancy, Murphy's Law.
I know it. I practiced so much too. And
And
we'll get
students, Murphy's Law is whatever's gonna go wrong will go wrong.
yeah. You are all very kind. Let me see here.
While you're working on that, Destiny wrote in the chat, his goal is to be more successful in his rap career and because he always wanted to be a rapper. Okay, Destiny, very good. Write that down.
I like that, Destiny. I like that.
And I think that shows that you've really been thinking about that too.
Okay, his name is Ashton. His mom's name is Destiny. He's using her iPad.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ashton.
So you just,
it's pretty cool.
yeah, so you just saw how I access the program. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how money works. And then, so answer this question for me, please. Money is a way to store, measure, and exchange what? Coins, product, value, or fun? What do you think?
Nancy, I don't have anything on my screen.
You don't? Oh, sorry.
Caesar said in the chat, value.
Value, that is absolutely right. And let me get this. Some reason. Oh, resume share. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna undo you and do you again because we just see a big blob.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so now do it again, Nancy. Now share your screen.
There. Got it?
There you go. Got it.
Okay. My apologies.
It's okay.
So the answer is value. Yes, money is a way to store, measure, and exchange value. If something has value, it has worth, desirability, and usefulness. So yep, correct. So the next question is, in the United States, money is printed by Department of Treasury, the best copy machine money can buy, Department of Commerce, the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. So where is money actually made, printed? What department of the government? Do you know? It is.
Benjamin said the Department of Treasury.
That is correct. It is the Department of Treasury. Question number 3. Whenever one person or group spends money, another person or group does what? Saves the exact same amount, gets super jealous, spends the exact amount, or gains money.
Janaya and Giselle and Tyler said saves money.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sudan said gains money, and Jeremiah says get jealous.
Okay. And that's probably right. But let's see. Well, let's do this one. Saves the exact same amount. That's not it. The answer is gains money. So as you spend money, whenever you spend money, whoever you're spending it, if you're spending it at a store, the store is gaining the money. So someone else gains the money. As everyone buys, borrows, invests, money passes through many different hands. And that includes that it passes through individuals, it passes through banks, it passes through stores. So whenever one person spends money, another person or group gains money. All right, so that's how it kind of flows through the system like that. Daryl, you are the expert on this. Did you want to say anything?
Well, one of the things that with this question, I agree with the students that this is kind of a tricky question, because you would assume if I spent some money, the other person may spend it or save it. But yeah, they gain the money, and then they do with it as they would want to. So that one was kind of tricky. If you didn't get it right. But yeah, we use money as a value of exchange, and how we treat that money, it depends. We may spend it, and we may save some of it, or we may do both. So yeah.
Yep, thank you.
So the answer was gains money, everybody.
Gain. Yeah. So question number 4. If you deposit money at a financial institution such as a bank, they'll often reward you by adding a small amount of extra money called a premium, a bonus, interest, or funny money. What do you think the answer is? So if you open up a savings account at a bank, you put money in your savings account, the bank will then give you additional money. It's called a reward, and we look at it as a reward for putting money into our bank.
Now, let me just say this, people. I'm getting 2 strong answers. Okay. Half of you said it's a bonus, and the other half of you said it's interest. So Nancy, you want to explain that?
So the money that you get is from a financial institution. When you put your money into a savings account, we pay you what we call interest. And that is our gift to you for putting money, depositing money in the bank. Now, a bonus is something an extra, like if you're working, let's say you have a job and you're working, and this is very typical in jobs. You are working and they say, if you do an excellent job during the year, and especially if you're a salesperson, if you do an excellent job during the year, at the end of the year, and you meet all your goals, because in jobs, you will have goals to meet. If you meet all your goals, then at the end of the year, we'll give you some extra pay. That it would be called a bonus. So it's something in addition to. But the interest is the term that financial institutions use. So Daryl, would you like to add anything there? You're on mute.
No, I think you articulated that well. Yeah. Interest is a phrase from the banks when they give you additional money. And a bonus is the word used in business when an employer gives you additional money.
Yeah.
But in this case, the key word here is financial institution, and the word is interest.
Yep. So the next question is, $1 in your hand today is worth more than $1 you'll receive in the future because, so $1 in your hand today is worth more than $1 that you'll receive in the future because, one, nobody can predict what tomorrow will bring. Two, money usually declines in value over time. Three, you can invest the $1 you have today and earn interest on it over time, which means you're putting that money in, you're earning interest, and then that with that interest, the money just keeps growing. Or four, if you spend it today, you get to enjoy it right away. So what do you think the answer there is?
So in the chat, the overall chat, the answer is number 3.
Woohoo!
You can invest the $1 you have today and earn interest on it over time. Number 3 is correct.
Number 3 is correct. And Daryl, you want to take that one to respond to?
Well, I'm hoping that everybody has a pencil and paper and jotting down some notes. Number 3 is captured in a phrase called time value of money. When I invest my money today, it will earn interest and be worth more tomorrow.
Yeah.
So write that phrase down, time value of money.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do before we move on to actually looking at banks and types of accounts they have is we're going to learn some new terms. So on the left side is the term, and on the right side is the definition. So let me see if I can bring that up. So inflation. So just take a look. Have you ever heard the term inflate? So think about what that means. You're inflating your bicycle tube, your tire. You're inflating a balloon. What does that mean? So take a look at that and then think what, and then see what you think on the right side the definition would be. Anybody?
Benjamin said, an increase in general price of goods and services.
Okay, let's see. So, okay, guess what? You got it. Thank you. All right, liability. Liability. Have you ever heard that term before? What you're liable for?
What is it, Mr. Carter?
Money an individual or business owns to someone.
Correct.
So, what did I do? Yes, wait, hold on. Where'd it go? Oh no, sorry. Did it mess up here? Okay. So liability is money and individual. It's messing up here. Liability is money an individual or business owns to someone. That's right. Okay. I just messed up when I did it.
And replace inflation back to where you had it.
Yeah. It's not
Right.
supposed to do that, but there. Okay. That's the beauty. I don't know if everybody has a touch screen device, but it sometimes does its own thing. Depreciate. So what do you think that means?
Depreciate means to increase in value or price over time.
Somebody's done this before.
That's correct.
Absolutely. Appreciate. So if depreciate is to decrease in value, what do you think appreciate is? Yes, Giselle.
To increase in value or price over time.
Correct. And then assets. Anything of value owned by a company or person. So you're going to hear these terms. These are terms that are used very frequently when you are talking about money management, especially your assets and liabilities. So, assets is what do you have of value that you own? And liability is what do you owe? And you're always comparing, we look at our assets and our liabilities. So we would subtract our liabilities from our assets, and that really determines our true worth. So it's probably difficult for you to do right now because you probably don't have a ton of assets and probably no liabilities. But as you get older, when you start borrowing money, buying cars, buying houses, it's going to be really important to look at, your assets and your liabilities. The point is you don't want your liabilities to be more than your assets. Daryl, did you want to add anything?
No, we're all kind of familiar with the transaction, but we're probably not familiar with the terms. If you borrowed $100 from your big sister for a pair of sneakers, you really don't own those sneakers until you pay your sister back. So those sneakers don't become yours. It's not your asset. It's really your sister's asset until you pay her back $100.
That's correct. Oh, here it goes again. It's starting again. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I think it's loading. So let's talk about, now we've learned about your goals. We've learned about how money works in the system. We've kind of really briefly talked about interest. So what do you do with all of that? Where do you put the money that you make? What is the best place for it? Where do you want to keep your money? Do you want to use the services of a financial institution? I use the term financial institution. That means banks, that means credit unions, it could, a number of things. So why money management is really good if you have the right tools for the job. And the best place for those tools is at a financial institution such as a bank. So it's important that we establish a relationship with a financial institution. And you all, you're in middle school, high school, you can start to have that relationship now. Having a relationship with a financial institution at your age means opening a checking or savings, opening a savings account really at your age. That's how you start out. And then, so there are two types of accounts at a bank. And those types of accounts are of deposit accounts, checking and savings. So if I can get this to work, there you go. Let's talk about this.
Money management is easy if you have the right tools for the job.
And the best place to get those tools is a financial institution, like a bank.
Exactly. Millions of Americans use banks. And chances are any successful person or business you can think of has a relationship with a bank. The fact is, banks offer safe and secure services that can help you save time and money and build a strong financial future.
Depending on where you live, you'll probably have a number of banks, savings and loans, or credit unions to choose from. So think long-term relationship and shop around for a financial institution that meets your needs.
Okay, so there are a number of reasons to use a financial institution, to use a bank. Can anyone tell me, why would you want to use a bank? Why would you want to establish a relationship with a bank? What are we there for?
To keep our money in the bank.
To keep our money. Yep.
A safe spot to hold our money.
Pardon?
A safe spot to hold our money.
Safetiness. Yes. What else? Anybody else? Okay, let's take a look at this. So there are probably 7 reasons why we would help us in terms of why we would want to put our money in a bank. One is safety. So it's kind of risky to keep all of your money in cash, and you're putting it in, you know, in your, we call it mattress money, and that means, you ever heard the term mattress money? That's where you put your money. A lot of people would put their money in a mattress. When I was growing up, my best friend, their parents owned a sporting goods store, and the dad would come home and put the money in the freezer. And I could never understand that. And it was like, okay, you have kids and you have people walking in and out of the house. It's not like it's a secret where you're putting this money. So that was a real lesson to me in terms of safety. And I always kind of worried about the family, because I'm going, oh my God, you know, they have all this money and a lot of people know it's there. So by putting it into a financial institution, it does keep it safe. And your money at a financial institution is secure. Your money is insured at a financial institution. So if something happens to that bank, your money is safe up to $250,000. It is backed by the federal government. There's insurance. Just like you get insurance for a car, just like there's insurance for a home, just like there's, you know, medical insurance, there is your money is insured at a bank. Convenience. So you don't have to carry around large amounts of cash.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm glad you brought up the insured part of money. So everybody should make a note of that your money is insured up to $250,000.
Yeah. For convenience, you don't have to carry around a lot of cash. You can go, and if your money's in a bank, you're going to have something called a debit card that is attached to your checking account. Yes, Giselle, do you have a question?
Yes. What if you have more than 50,000? You said.
If you have more than, and think so, if you have more than that, the bank is you probably might be working with a couple of different banks. There are rules in terms of the different types of accounts that money is in. So the bank would help you to work with you to put the money in accounts where most of it would be insured. But your money, when you have that amount of money in a bank, the bank's going to help you to place it in the different types of accounts that protects you the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you may have more than one account. You may do banking with more than one bank. You may have 250,000 in Wells Fargo. You might have 250,000 in Chase. You might have 100,000 in Bank of America. You might spread it out.
Yeah.
Exactly what Rhonda said and what Nancy's saying, exactly true. I remember a friend of mine in banking. Everybody familiar with the artist Madonna? She had a large amount of money in a particular bank, and her attorneys came to my friend's bank, wanted to put $5 million in his bank. So just kind of spread the risk out, as Nancy was talking about.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about a debit card in a few minutes, but your debit card is attached to your checking account, and you can use that in place of in place of having to carry around cash. So that's so security. We think we talked about that. And then also by keeping your money in a bank, you have professionals there who can help you and provide you with the tools and resources to help you manage your money better. So when you establish a relationship with a bank, you want to be able to talk to someone there. You want to be able to go in and talk to someone there about your financial needs, and that allows you to do that. So there are two types of accounts. Deposit accounts, and a deposit means to put money into the bank, into something. So it's savings account and a checking account. So what do you think? What's the purpose of a savings account? What do you think? Anyone?
Giselle said to save money, and Darren said to save money.
That's exactly. The purpose of a savings account is to save money. In fact, there are laws that around savings accounts that if you are withdrawing or taking money out of a savings account too often, then banks can't allow you to do that. They'll have to send you a letter saying, hey, this is a savings account. You cannot continue, you're taking money out of it too often. So if you either have to stop doing that or else we'll have to change it to a checking account. So a savings account has limitations on how many withdrawals or times you can take the money out within a certain period of time. And most savings accounts pay interest. So we already talked about what that is. Then there's a checking account. Checking account is, that's the account where you use to pay, that's where you do your, where you get your money for your day-to-day expenses. All of your money that's going to be used to pay your bills goes into a checking account. And with the checking account comes a debit card, which you're going to see in a few minutes. And you can access that money in your checking and savings accounts either through an ATM or you can go into the bank, or you can do some online transactions, which I'll talk about in a second. So those are some of the ways, some of the accounts that you would be using at a bank. So the money that you have your goals, and in your goal, you put that you're going to be saving X amount of dollars, $10 every 2 weeks towards buying a computer. What account do you think you would put that money for your goal, that you're saving for your goal? Will you put that money in a savings account or will you put that money in a checking account?
Darren said he would put it in a savings account.
That's absolutely right.
And so did Caesar.
That is absolutely right. You would want to put that money into anything you are saving for your goal, and money that is attached to your goal, savings for a goal, that money would go into a savings account. That money would go into a savings account. So, so other things that you would use, to other money tools that can help you is an ATM, and that's the automatic teller machine, and that's the machine you find outside of banks all the time. You just insert your card, and then you can take money out, you can deposit money, and do other things. And then you have online banking, and that's a way to pay your bills and to transfer money. So I use online banking for everything. And I just go into my account, which is safe. Your bank is safe, the website. You just have to make sure for online and mobile banking that you have the right protections on your computer too. It's very important that you have security on your computer when you are doing any kind of a financial transaction on a computer. That is whether you are, working with your bank, that is whether you are buying stuff online. So you want to make sure that you are protected. Daryl, did you want to say anything about that computer protection? Daryl or Rhonda?
No, not really.
Yes, it's very important that when you purchase any type of a computer or tablet, that you get the antivirus software to make sure that they're looking out for you. You want to make sure that you're secure. Now, when you go online to different institutions like banking, they have some systems in place to make sure that no one can access your information. But if you're online going to other places like Facebook and TikTok and all of that, they may not be as secure. So people may be able to see your information. However, if you have the security on your computer, it's watching who's watching you and making sure you're protected.
Correct. I get a notice on my computer, and I know we're digressing a bit, but it's really important. I get a notice on my computer anytime I go to a website that's not secure. It tells me it's not secure. Do you want to proceed? And sometimes it won't allow me to proceed based on the protection I have on my computer. Do you know how you know a site is secure on the computer? So there's two ways you know a site is secure on a computer. It's look at the top of here, HTTP. That's the link that we're in right now. The S, HTTPS, the S means it's secure. So when you are online and looking and maybe purchasing a transaction, or you're looking at sites, then the other way you know is there's a little lock, looks like a little lock up on the top of the screen when you're purchasing stuff or you're online. So sorry, but online banking is a way you can do all of your transactions online. You can go into your bank online and you can transfer your money, you can deposit money, you can send money to someone, you can pay bills. I pay all my bills online. I do not use anything else right now. And it saves on stamps and mailing and security there. Then you have
one of the things I want to add, Nancy, are you finished?
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to add, you students, you're of the technology age. We're becoming more and more technical. So I ask you, when in doubt, be as conservative as possible. My wife does online banking many times when we're driving and on her cell phone. I'm not comfortable with it. So I wait till I come home and I do my banking on my laptop. I still use the internet, but my device is my laptop and only my laptop. So that's one of the things that I'm going to ask all of you. When in doubt, just kind of use good judgment.
I totally agree with what Daryl just said. Absolutely, totally agree. If I'm going to do mobile banking, I have set it up with my phone provider. I have extra virus protection on my phone. So everybody says an iPhone is, you don't have to worry about that. That's not necessarily true. That nobody can break into an iPhone. It's not necessarily the case. So I do have, if I'm going to do mobile banking, I do that. But I'm just like Daryl. I don't do any of my banking other than on my laptop at my home, where I know my internet is secure. Okay. Any questions on that? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about opening a checking and savings account and why you would want to do that.
Okay, so here's the big secret about using money management tools. There is no big secret. I mean, all it takes is a little adding and subtracting, and some focus on keeping good track of the money you've got.
I agree. Once I opened my own savings and checking accounts, I found it's really easy to use them. The only trick is to make sure you don't spend more than you have. If you do, you'll really pay for it, believe me.
Absolutely. That's why we have a whole section called Keep Track. We'll show you how to open your bank accounts and how to start using them.
Right. So I'm not sure how many of you already have a checking or savings account, but when you go in, there's certain information that you'll need to bring in and to open any account. And so what they're doing with this information is, first of all, there are laws in terms of what information we need to ask for. So they need to verify who you are by the documentation that you provide. They need to make sure it's you. And so we're going to ask for 2 forms of a current photo ID. There will always be a deposit that you have to put into a bank account when you open it up. So you're going to have to put some kind of money in. Then we call that a minimum deposit or an opening deposit. And for youth, and there are special accounts for youth. If you are younger than, I would say 17, depending on the bank, 17 or 18, it depends on the bank, you will have to have an adult with you, someone who is 18 or older. They're going to have to go on the account with you to open it. And then when you are 18, the account will transition over into you alone. And if you're 18, you can open an account by yourself. So that, you know, you're going to bring in that information, and you're going to have to bring in your social security number or have it on you. And you're, you know, some of that is your, the way that we'll verify is your social security card or your student ID and that. So before, if you're thinking about opening up an account, my recommendation to you is to go talk to a couple of banks. You know, I say go talk to at least 3 of them. See what kind of accounts they are, and you can look all of that up online. You can go to, you know, choose 3 banks or credit unions. Look up opening an account, and they'll give you all of their, you know, how much does it take to put a deposit? What kind of deposit must you bring in? What kind of documentation must you provide, ID? And then go talk to them before you open it. So it's called shopping around. You're going to shop around for a bank, just like you would shop for buying a computer or those very expensive shoes or something, anything else. So you want to make sure that that's the right fit for you. So when you have your open up an account and you're going to deposit money into an account, if you're going to do this in person in a bank, you're going to fill out a deposit slip. And this is a sample deposit slip. And down here, you're going to see this is the identification number of the bank where it says 1234 00056. That's the identification number of the bank. And this number next to it, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's going to be your checking or savings account number, depending on whether you're what you're depositing it to. So you will have separate deposit slips for your checking account, separate deposit slips for your savings accounts. Now you can also deposit money through your debit card. You can just put your debit card in the machine or give it to the teller at the bank and then tell them which one you want to deposit it to. So and you would put in how much you want to deposit and how much. So this is a typical deposit slip. Now with a checking account comes a check. Now, truth be told, not many people use checks anymore. A lot of people pay. Daryl, you use a check?
I do.
Okay, and it's all on how you manage your money. So I told you I do all my bills, I pay them online. I go into my account and then I set up, you know, on the first of the month, there's my rental payment, you know, and then my credit card payment, and then all my other payments, my payment to NV Energy, my payment to, you know, trash, all of that. And it goes out. So used to write checks, but this is a check. A check is like having cash, okay? You never want to have, if you have a checking account and they give you checks, you do not want to be carrying around your checkbook. You want to protect that just like you would protect your cash. Because on this check at the bottom, see this number 987654? That is your checking account number. If someone got a hold of your checks, guess what? They would have your checking account information. And if someone got a hold of your checks and knew your signature, they could write checks out in your name and wipe your account out in no time. So that this is a typical check, and so you would write the date you're writing the check, who you're paying, you're writing the amount in numerics, and then the amount in alpha. If those two don't match, the bank will take the one that's written out. So if I wrote out a check and it was $46.73, but then down at the bottom, I was multitasking and I wrote $460.73. The bank will take the $460. But you may not have $460 in your checking account. Or they may pay the grocery store more than so you have to be very careful about that. So when you receive a check, so your employer may pay you by check sometimes, or you may get checks for your graduation or your birthday or holidays. When you want to cash that check or deposit it, you have to turn the check over. You would turn it over on the back side, and you would have to sign your name before you can deposit it. And you would sign your name exactly to how it was on the pay to on the front. And then if you wanted to deposit it, you would put for deposit only. Okay? So that's how you would do a check. Has anyone had any experience with writing checks before? No? So this is probably what you're really going to be using most of the time is your debit card. So with a checking account is a debit card. It looks very, very similar to a credit card, but it does say debit card at the top. And you see this little Visa signature over here, Visa? That means that that card can be used any place that any Visa is accepted. And Visa is a credit, okay, agency. So your debit card can be used to purchase things. It can be used, you can use it online to purchase things. You can go to the ATM to get money out. You can bring it to any store that accepts Visa, for this case, and to purchase things. So I use my debit card. I kind of switch between cash and debit card. Debit cards are really easy to overspend. So for some reason, we have a harder time parting with our cash. So a debit card, if you have that card, I think it's for a lot of people, it's easier to use it. And that's where people get in trouble, is they're not tracking their spending. I track my spending and I know how much I spend every single day. And I think that's really important, especially if you are kind of, depending on your paycheck to make it to your next paycheck. So it's really important. And the one thing you do not want to do is spend more than you're making. That then means other implications. Daryl, did you want to add anything to that?
Yes, with respect to the checks allow you to keep records instead of issuing to somebody cash. They may say, you never paid me. With a check, you have a record. And as Nancy said, they had to endorse the check upon receipt of the check. with respect to a debit card, you got to understand the evolution of banking. And I'm not going to go into a history of banking, but banks used to be closed on Saturdays and Sundays. Then they started opening on Saturdays, and they're still closed on Sundays. But if you didn't have a transaction done by Friday, you had to wait till Monday. Your generation, or currently, you have real-time information of your position of how much money you have. So by the use of a debit card, you can always tell how much money you have left in your checking account.
Correct. And you can go online at any time on your bank to check your balance in your account. And you can check exactly what has gone through. Now, when you use a debit card, it comes directly out of your checking account. Sometimes it may take a day or so, but most of the time it's directly. And so at the end of each day, you can go in and check to make sure that, you know, what's come out of your account is stuff that you spent and not somebody else. You will need, and notice on your debit card, this is the back side. You see the number on the right? That's the back side of your debit card. You will have to sign that. You will have to sign that so that when someone, they'll know your signature. They'll look at your signature when you use your debit card sometimes.
If I could add to that, Nancy, on the back of all my credit cards, and I learned this from my wife, on the back of all my credit cards and all my debit cards, I have request ID. So if I present my debit card, the merchant will ask me for my ID, and my ID is my driver's license. And then we move forward from that. That's what I do for security.
I think that's really good. Didn't even ever thought about that. So instead of your signature, it's request ID, right?
Yep.
And then that way the merchant is checking that it is you.
Correct.
And not someone else, because that's actually a very, very good idea. Thank you. I always learn something in these classes.
You're welcome.
Always learn something. So with your debit card, in order to use it, the bank is going to ask you to create a PIN, personal identification number. And that's the number that you will put in. So if you are making a purchase, you'll put in your debit card. It's going to ask you, sometimes it will ask you to put in your PIN number. That's your secret number. That is a number that you want to not give out to anyone. If you're going to give out that number to anyone, you need to really make sure that you can trust them. But I will tell you that if your account information is stolen, you're a victim of fraud, the first thing the bank is going to ask you is, have you given your PIN number out to anyone? And they're going to find out if you have or not. If you have, all of your protections may be gone in terms of whether the bank will reimburse you for the money that was stolen from your account. So it's very important for you to keep your own PIN number and discuss that. If you have someone else on your account with you, could be someone else, they can have their own PIN number. Okay, they will have their own PIN number. So my daughter and I have an account together. She has her PIN number. I have mine. It is her account. But I've never asked her for her PIN number, and she's never asked me for mine. But it is your number, and then you want to, and make sure it's something you can remember. You don't want to write it down at all. Well, at least write it down where anyone can see it. But be very vigilant about protecting your debit card. And don't give it, I highly recommend that you really don't give it to anyone unless it's somebody that you can completely trust. I think So, Rhonda, Daryl, you want to add anything onto that? That's because this is where a lot of young kids lose money, is by giving their personal information to other people that are their friends today, but may not be their friends tomorrow.
Friends and family.
Yep.
Friends and family. You have to be very careful with money. Money is very liquid, and people will try to steal from you. And you just gotta, again, use good judgment when it comes down to money.
Yep. Okay. So, how many of you have used an ATM before or watched somebody who has used it? Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to take you quickly through using an ATM, because that's probably what you're going to be using most, if not everyone has. So let's take a look at this. So this is a typical ATM screen. So you're going to put your card into the slot where it says card. And then you're going to enter your PIN number. So that's the number we just talked about. Now, you will see on most banks and anywhere that they have PIN numbers, they're asking you for their PIN number. They're asking you, when you put your PIN number in, that you actually, and you see my hand go up as if I'm putting it in, you put your hand over it so nobody sees the number that you're putting in. I've had people at Walmart and other stores, the grocery store, where they're like right over my shoulder as I'm putting in my PIN number, and I've had to ask them, can you please step back? People have digital cameras today. So on your phones, everybody has a camera on their phone. So a nice way that people steal other people's information and get access to their accounts is they're watching them as they put in their PIN number. They're taking a photo of that. And then if you're holding your card out for everyone to see, they're taking a photo of your card. And then they have your debit card number, which is access to your checking account. And then they have your PIN number. Now they can do what they need to do. That actually happened to me once, I was charged a lot of money went out of my account, and I finally realized how it happened. So then you're going to look at, what do you want to do? You're going to select get cash, deposit money, or transfer money. So you're going to click one of those buttons. So you've decided that you wanted to deposit. You clicked your deposit. So you just click, what do you want to deposit? Do you want to deposit the money into your checking, or do you want to deposit into your savings? You'll select. So you're going to then put the amount of money that you're going to deposit. So you're going to put deposit into my savings. And then it's going to ask you what's the amount. And you're going to say $40. You're going to enter that in. And then if you have the money, the $40 in cash, or it could be a check, you would then put the deposit into the slot where it says. So here it says deposit. That you're going to have a deposit envelope, and if you'll put it in there. Do you want any cash back? So let's say you're doing a check, no, let's just say you want to also deposit money, but you also want to get some cash out too. Then you would say yes or no. And then when you're done, is there not something else you would like to do? That's what it asks you to do. So that's way. When you are at an ATM machine and using an ATM machine, look around you. Make sure nobody's really close to you. Be very careful about that. And then when you take your money, and you'll get a receipt, put your receipt away. Don't leave your receipt in the machine. And remember to take your ATM card too with you. So when you leave an ATM machine, you're going to leave with possibly 3 things. If you're taking out cash, money, your ATM card, and your receipt. And then at the end of the day, go and look and make sure that the transaction was recorded online. All right. I know we only have 3 minutes left, and I've been doing a lot of talking. What do you want to do, Rhonda?
How do I want to do?
And we have 3 minutes before 11:30. I think I can probably finish up within about 5 minutes.
Okay, go finish up then.
All right. So you want to make sure that with all of your transactions at a bank, saving your receipts. Daryl talked about recording your transactions. So if you have a checkbook, record those transactions. And then go in online, I would say at least a couple of times a week and look at what you've been spending. Is everything that's coming out of your account, are those expenses that you have done? Also take a look at what you've been spending every week. Take a look at what you've been spending your money on. Are these things that you really want to spend your money on? Take a look at whether it's a need or a want, and we'll have lots of time discussions about needs and wants. You're going to get a bank statement with every account, every account you have. You're going to get a checking account. You're going to get your statement every month. Savings account, it could be every month or it could be every 3 months, depending on the bank. Review those. Are these all of your transactions? You may think that's a lot of work, but in the end, it's going to protect you. And I think once you get into the habit of doing all of this, it's going to be really easy to do. So this is an example of a statement that you're going to get from a bank every month. And it's going to show them you exactly what money went in and exactly what money came out. And then what is your outstanding balance? What is your balance in your account? So that's what you want to really take a look at each month. And when you're done looking at that, if you're printing it out, keep it in a safe place, because this has your account number, as you can see on the top left, on it. People get access to your account number, they can get access to your money. So just keep that in mind. Always put your financial statements, your personal information away in a place that it's not open for everybody to see. All right? Always know how much you have in the bank. And make sure you and the bank agree on that. All right? And if there's any fees that are coming in your account, you want to make a note that, of the time of the month that those fees are going to come out of your account. Most accounts have a fees attached to them. So you want to understand what those fees are and when they're going to be taken from your account. So let's see. Let's just do these 2 questions and we will end there. So available balance, what do you think that means? The balance listed on my most recent bank statement, the average amount of money I've had in my account for the past month, the amount of money that the bank will make available to me for withdrawal or use to authorize my next purchase or payment, how much money I'd love to spend if I could. I love that one. What do you think?
In the chat, everyone chose number 3, the amount of money that the bank will make available to me for withdrawal or use to authorize my next purchase or payment.
Yes, perfect. So you've done this before. What is the best way to avoid spending more money than I have in my account? Ask a trusted friend for advice on how much to spend. Look at my last bank statement to get my balance. Make only small purchases. Keep an accurate and current record of all my transactions. What do
The
you think?
chat had 2 answers. but the answer with the most votes is number 4. Keep an accurate and current record of all my transactions.
You are absolutely correct. Oh, this one is important. It might be on your test. Not that we're going to, your assessment. What is one of the possible outcomes of making a purchase with my debit card that totals more than I have in my checking account? Nothing. I'll get a phone call from the bank asking me what to do. The bank may decline the transaction. The price of the item I purchased will double.
The chat says number 3. The bank may decline my transaction.
That's correct. The bank may decline. And when you set up your account, you will have an option. The bank will ask you, if you don't have enough money in the account, do you want it to decline? I say, yes, that's the option you want to always have. So you're not spending more than you're making. If the bank didn't decline this transaction and you didn't have enough in your account, you would be paying a lot of money in additional fees, a lot. So you want to make sure that you don't have that ability to do that. So I'm going to end there. I think we've covered just about everything in this chapter. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on today and kind of how we're presenting this information. Is this something that just if you could just, I don't know where you all went.
Well, don't leave, people. We're not done. We have a couple more housekeeping items.
Yeah, so either you can share that with Rhonda and Daryl on what you thought of today's class, and if this is and if there's anything else that you would like to see us do, and how we teach this. But I do thank you. I know this was a ton of information on a Saturday morning, but I really appreciate the fact that you were all here. So,
Okay.
Daryl, Rhonda, did you want to say anything?
Yes. Just a little housekeeping. If you all know how to use these features, raise your hand if you have finished the survey that I put in the chat earlier. If you have finished the survey, if you do not have your camera on, please turn your camera on so I can see you. If you have finished the survey that was in the chat, you have done that. Okay, looks like everybody's done that. Fantastic. Now, since you had such a good time today in class, we have a little small test. We want to see if you were paying attention to Miss Nancy and Mr. Daryl. So in the chat, I'm going to put in another link, and I'd like for everybody to sign in and answer these questions from today's class. Okay, can everybody see the link in the chat? If you double click it, it will take you to a small little test. We want to see if you were paying attention. You have 5 minutes to complete the test. Starting now.
I like you, Miss Nolan. You give me a lot of time.
It's 6 questions. It's very easy. 4 of them you know the answers to already. Actually, 5 of them. Very easy. 6 questions, you know the answers to 5. When you are finished, send me a little note in the chat.
Rhonda, did we not cover one of the questions?
No, we covered all the questions.
Okay.
5 of the questions they know the answers to because it pertains to them personally.
Oh.
One question is about the class and they should have the correct answer. Doing good, doing good. Did everybody enjoy today's class? Yay. Very good. I would like to, first of all, thank you for coming to the class today. We appreciated having you, but I also want to thank our speakers and coaches today. I'd like to thank Mr. Darrell Rayford and Miss Nancy Hamilton. They did a fantastic job today. Let's give them a hand clap. All right. So let's see. Everyone should be just about finished with the survey. It was only six small questions. And Tyler, you had a question. The question is, I'll send you a note.
And Rhonda, if I could just add one thing before we sign off. Every week, I'm going to try to give you guys and young ladies a word. And this week's word, or really words, is talk and listen. I want you to talk to your parents. I want you to talk to your friends about what we discussed this week. And I want you to listen. I want you to hear what somebody has to say. One of the things that you have to your credit is you have this thing. You have a handheld computer to validate what people say. You have this handheld device to validate what Ms. Hamilton and myself said. So do some research. So today's word or words are talk and listen. And the last thing before I sign off, one of the things, since we're talking about money, I want to tell you something that my father told me when I was your age or younger. He said, never look at somebody else on what they have and never worry about how they got it. Only worry about yourself and how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. So I want to leave you with that, because sometimes we're always looking at somebody with some nice sneakers or a nice car. Worry about yourself and achieve your goals.
Very good. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. Have a good Saturday.
See you
Bye-bye.
next 10 o'clock.